Hello there, Dalré. How are you this fine evening?
but because you get in firing range S&D, you get
Welcome, ladies
naught
and gentlemen, to the first episode of the CODcastZA Season 2. While Rob interrupts me there. Welcome, gents. Thanks for joining me yet again. Season number 2. And before I go any further, I just want to have a huge shout out to Carl P Graphics. As you can see in front of you, the man did an exceptional job with the graphics there, as you can see. You need to be very talented if you want to make Lee Java Johnson look good on stream. So he's really talented, and a huge shout out to him. But Lithium, Java, Heroes, and Kovs, welcome, gents.
What's up?
Hello.
What's up?
Yeah, guys. Well, Dylan, I don't think we need to give any introduction who you are in any way. Basically, it goes to your Twitter bio that says multiple time champion. So I'll go to that then, and then Java, probably the best captain or IGL in CODZA, and then you have Mr. Kovs there at your bottom right. He's now BVD Kovs, not Ian anymore, and then yeah, just Heroes. But we'll leave it there.
Okay, dude. Okay, dude.
We'll leave it there. But gents, tonight's all about firstly how the previous season went down in World War II, and then going to talk about everything Black Ops 4, obviously. And the first topic at hand, we're gonna move along quite with a quite good pace, as we've got a lot to cover. But firstly, gents, how did the season go for Bravado, Ian, and Vinco? And Dylan, I would like you to kick off how the things went with Bravado in World War II.
I think we had a good season. Obviously, going into the season, we expected to be in the top 2.
Yeah, is that
Good
about
season, and yeah.
it? So expected top 2, and basically you got what, first place twice this year?
Yeah, 2 first place, 2 second place.
And what, you got the Afri eSports where you took Ian to a second best of 5, just falling short there, and then just picked it up when Vian left the scene, and then you got that
Yeah, so
that EGE
basically
and
we
DGC
came
win.
second. Yeah, so basically we just became second at Afri. We won EGE.
Yes.
We came second in Medal State, and then we won VSK.
Okay, awesome stuff. And then Lee, you Vinco side of things?
Well, we came sixth at Afri, and then we came second at EG. And then we came top 8.
You guys laughing.
Then we came top 8 at Middle State.
Yeah,
Obviously not the season we want.
Yeah, not the season you wanted, but you would say it was a good ending, getting that second place. EGE probably your highlight of the year as well.
Nah, like obviously it's never a good ending if you're not coming first. I wouldn't say.
Okay, then
Especially with one of the top 3 teams not being there.
yeah, obviously not. Kaiden, and then you guys for Ian. Obviously, you only got onto the Ian squad after, I think it was, or just before EGE. So just run us through Ian from that stage.
Well, at first Rob didn't want me. Don't know why, but eventually I got in.
Like I wanted you afterwards.
So obviously going in and getting picked up after getting dropped from Vinco,
Yeah.
and then from there I just made like pickup teams, and I was just like playing scrims, obviously trying to keep like my skill gap as close as possible to the top teams.
Yeah.
Then obviously when I had the opportunity to join Ian, I took it with both hands. And then at first it was I don't know, it was looked good, but going into EGE we were obviously confident, but obviously when you like our biggest rivals being Bravado was going to be a hard challenge. And then I think Lee, we beat you guys in the bracket to send you guys to losers, but I think that was winners semis.
Yeah.
To take us through to
I don't know.
Sunday.
Yeah, that
Yes,
was
yes.
Saturday.
That
Yeah.
was
Even from there, like our bracket play was like rough, dude. Like we were winning our games, but like it was literally like by the skin of our teeth. Like it was really close.
Yeah, I think it
So
was that
going
first.
into-
Well, wasn't it that first game versus Ventus?
against Ventus.
Yeah, yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think I think we didn't we didn't take them as seriously as we should have. If that makes
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I get what you're saying. And then was
Big challenge.
EGE. Obviously, like going in there, I was confident that we could win it. I'm pretty sure my teammates were as well.
yeah,
But unfortunately, we played BVD in the winners finals and we won first map, and then we lost S&D I think 6-5. But
Yeah.
dude, like playing LAN and lagging on that main stage, like that tilted our whole team. I swear to God, like that was the struggle. And then they took the next 3 maps, and we got dropped to losers, and then Vinco just completely outplayed us. Vinco obviously wanted it more. So then placing third at EGE, which was my best placing at that time. And then Metal State, we obviously worked on our problems, which was our S&D, and going to Metal State, I was very confident. And we won Metal State, which I was happy with, and unfortunately we couldn't go to DGC. So all in all, I think my World War II season was probably it was the best season I've ever had, and was quite successful.
yeah. That's good. That's good. But looking back as a whole from World War II, was it the season you expected after a season like IW? Was it? Were you going into?
No,
World
not
War
at all. Like I like coming into World War II, I did not see myself ending the season of playing for Energy Esports.
Mm.
Like, not at all.
And for
I
you?
expected to be under Lee Java for the whole season, but then I got dropped to my head.
And then Lee and you, Rob, Dill, World War II, was it the season you expected?
No.
I think for us it kind of was, because obviously I told you like we expected to be in the top 2
Yeah.
no matter what, and we didn't place lower than second at any event, so I guess it was. But we also had more plans for World War II like earlier in the year that didn't end up happening, which we also expected to happen. But that's why we've sorted that out now, and then we obviously working towards that goal now, and it's looking good. So yeah.
And then was there any specific players, looking back at World War II, that stood out for you, that was above the rest?
I think the Royal team at the time,
Yeah,
Trexie and them. I think those players, like obviously coming into the season, I didn't think that they would be as good as they were.
yeah.
As a team, they played really well. And like when I think of World War II and I think of like players or teams that stood out, I'll definitely have to say that team.
Yeah, if I'm talking about teams and not really individuals, I would say that Royal by far stood out from everyone. I think they had an exceptional lead of the likes of fanboys, and it did show when DGC they took you to map 5. It was Dylan.
Yeah, I'm at 5.
Yeah, so if you can do that, you must be a really good team. Something must be working there. And then looking at
Yeah.
the lands, EGE, Metal State, and Comic Metal State being online, but EGE and Comic Con, was it improvement from the IW season?
Definitely for us, because the thing with the IW season is like going into that year, it was kind of like we planned around having like over 18 events, and
Yeah.
that didn't end up happening. So we ended up having quite a few roster changes, which obviously isn't good, because you want to build a team and you want it to stay and you want to just build from there. So I definitely feel like having all the roster changes and stuff, messed us around a bit. And then it's only like really at the end of the year we managed to come second at DGC, but it was mainly after that that we really like sat down and we just like discussed the team and we like built from there. Like our team just it built from there.
But as an event, EGE and Comic Con. Well, obviously,
Yeah.
if I'm talking about Comic Con, I'm meaning the VS Gaming Championships last year, played at Rage. Was there an improvement from VS Gaming at these events?
No, I think you just cut out there, but
Or was I cutting out? Yeah, I can see encoders overloading here
said.
on my side. What I did,
So
yeah, what I said was,
are you asking about like how they improved the actual
yes,
events themselves?
the actual
on
events,
year?
yes.
Okay. I think EG in IW had more like spectators, and I think it had a few more teams compared to this year. As far as like the casting goes, I think both like it was done it was a similar standard, like
Yeah.
casted same thing. I think VS was a bit of an improvement because the prize pool, and I don't know. It's just for me, it's like much of a muchness. Metal State was definitely like the one event though that we've obviously didn't have before that came now.
Yeah,
Also
yeah.
quite a big,
VS
which
had more
was
than
nice to have.
one disc.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I feel like VS and EGE are kind of like the same every year. Like nothing really. It's not really growing. It just stays the same, and you have it every year. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something we can look at probably to make a change. I know at EGE, I think it was VS Gaming that I wasn't there with their, I think it was Dota or something. I can remember the IW. They had something there in the corner, and it helped in getting in some crowd. And this year it was what, I think there was like 100 people less than previous seasons, but it was still a very good atmosphere, and ACHL did their part. But now looking at the Black Ops 4 season, first going to talk about roster changes, and I'm going to let KOHvz take over here. And my question was to you: was this an easy move to go to Bravado?
First of all, my question is to you: is why do you keep choosing shit photos of me to put as the fucking my fucking
Oh, it looks like you're
pictures?
doing some
I just
sit-ups there,
hopped onto
man.
the stream.
Same, dude.
Some
Dude, I just
sit-ups.
hopped onto the stream. Like everyone else has the gaming photos, and then I'm like, I'm busy trying to flex, dude.
Why not?
Why not? I don't mind. What did you say? So was it an easy move to go to
Yes.
Bravado?
Yeah.
I don't know, yes and no. I feel like it was an easy move in my mind for the future and opportunity that would provide, and also the skill of the players.
Yeah.
But I feel no because of the attachment that I've grown upon with Energy, and like, because Energy's like always been my home. I've been with them for like plus 3 years. Like they've done everything for me, and like it's like a 50-50. Like I could either choose what I'm comfortable with or go out and get something new, but they can progress to something amazing. So that's why I feel like it was easy for Bravado because, like I said in the one, I don't know if it was a message or something, it's Bravado's goals and my goals match perfectly. What they
Yeah.
want and what they want to provide for us is exactly what I want, and that's why
Yeah.
I went with them. And also, it was easier because I know all the players from Bravado. I've been friends with them. I've teamed with some of them,
Mm.
and we get along really well, which is something I really enjoy.
Yeah, and this wasn't an overnight process to make this change, right?
Actually, it started in mid World War II season, if I'm
Yeah.
being honest with you.
Yeah.
It wasn't
So,
something that was supposed to be done immediately, but
mm,
it's always something that has been planned and we wanted to go forward with.
because after all, the goal of this team that you've put together is to eventually go overseas and compete in the CWL.
Yeah, that's like the main goal. Like
Yeah.
I love South African esports everything, but like I don't really care what happens now. Like
Mm.
for me and like the team, we just want to go over and compete and prove ourselves. We don't want to wait anymore for something to come here for us to prove ourselves, and that isn't guaranteed. We
Especially
want
if
to
you want to
take it
make
there.
it a career, like you need to go
Exactly.
overseas.
And it's a perfect time now. We can't wait any longer, and I feel like it's not going to come anytime soon for South Africa.
Yeah, well, if there's one Call of Duty to do it in, it's definitely a tryout game and a Black Ops series. So it's definitely the time to go. Then Caden, you was it a no-brainer to pick up Shark and Clanker?
Yeah, I would say so. Like they're both literally insane. Looking at the World War II season, the way that they played, I can start with Clanko. Like I think playing him at EGE was one of the worst experiences ever. He literally, I don't understand how that he does it, but his gun skill and everything is insane. So looking at him as at first, and then our at Jamie's DGC performance was this year was
That was
actually
crazy.
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
Like Jamie's DGC performance this year at World War II was actually insane, and obviously like I've been close with Jamie as a friend, and I haven't been as close with Adam, but I'm getting close to him now, being my teammate. But I wanted Jamie on board like from the beginning, and then we wanted obviously these things to be like happening with Rob going to BBD. If there were going to be complications and Rob couldn't go, like considering that he might stay, and then obviously when we had the go ahead that he was going, and we need 2 more players. Then immediately I was like Clanko, and then
Because like Kaden and I, like even like during the process, it was just Kaden that I wanted to speak to. Like throughout the whole process of me going to Bravado, as well as them picking up a player, we always like considered both variables, like picking up one player if I'm staying or picking up two if I'm going. Like Ed and I worked very closely, like, and we were like working together. It wasn't like a thing of, oh no, we don't want you to go or like something. We knew
Yeah.
like what was right and what needed to be done,
Yeah.
which is something like I really enjoyed about working with Gaden there. And
Mm.
like as you said, like my first two picks, like I gave them three picks that I thought was suitable. Jamie, Klanko, and Lee. Those are my three picks because play and he's like amongst the top three. Jamie is like one of the best development players ever. You have him on your team, you work with him for a little bit, and he will be at the top at a point in the season. And then obviously Lee, because going as like a main RGL and everything, even though like the boys will be able to like develop their own strategy and everything, just you know how smart Lee is, and he's able to like transform his own team into like his own and make them win. Like you saw at EG, like no one expected
Yeah.
to like for Vinco to have such a dominant presence. But obviously, it's up to them. I wasn't going to guide them, but I feel like they did make the right decisions because the two they picked up are like absolutely nuts at the game.
Yeah, well, Klanko definitely considered one of the best Call of Duty players in SA currently. So you can't go wrong picking him up, and then Sharky being an absolute crackhead, just gunning everyone. So literally, that guy is insane. So definitely two great players you've picked up there. And then lead to you now with Vinco having 3 changes, and that's been announced today.
Okay, so basically the 3 players that we picked up were Schemes, Joffs, and Scorer. And like when you look at it, you kind of think like they aren't like amongst the like top 3 players, like players that are considered like mad with a gun skill, or players that are considered best in-game players. And I think one of the main reasons that I wanted the roster to be announced much earlier than what it was is because so I could show like other teams and things that I'm not really busy caring about the names of the players. When I'm busy picking up this team right now, all that I'm busy thinking about is how much each player plays like individually and how badly they want to win. Like gunfights and everything right now doesn't even matter to me. Throughout the year, the players can develop on their own with that in their own individual gun skill and things. So right now, I just want a team that is willing to put in all the effort to become the best and can put aside all of their individual plays, put away like any egos that they have to do what they can for the team. So I think picking up Schemes, NJ, and Driven would definitely be the best choices I could make.
Yeah, well, if you know, this is actually another question for Dylan and Lee, both being captains, is what is a captain when or team slash org look for when recruiting players? Do you guys just look for gun skill, in-game leader, communication? What's all the things you need to look for when picking up a player?
That depends on what role you're looking for, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, can I
I can
answer
answer
part for
first.
this
Yeah,
quickly?
go for it.
It's a perfect example with me, because I had meetings with Bravado before I joined, and it wasn't just the players. Okay, Rob, you're in the team. I literally sat down, and it's like I can't stress enough, and like I was the one who was guilty of it. Is your social media presence? I literally sat down with the Bravado owners, and they were questioning me because obviously, like a couple of like a year, and then like past a year ago, I didn't have like the best social media presence. Like I was being a dumbass on fucking Twitter. Like I used to say the stupidest shit.
Yeah.
And they actually sat me down before and they're like, you need to change this. Like obviously the past like I'd say year I have changed it. But I mean they sat me down, said, this is not gonna go forward if you don't get your act together because now you're representing an org, a company that needs to have good social media presence and also that you also have to need to have good social media presence. So I'd say like the biggest thing when it comes to big orgs especially is how you portray yourself on social media.
So you need to represent, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yourself and the previous
You need
org
to
you're in if you're
represent
looking to
yourself
get on your own.
professionally.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, you can't go on Twitter,
As
you know, just blabbing around, swearing everywhere is what you're saying.
yeah.
And
As for,
yeah, and then the players like getting outside of that,
yeah,
like
yeah,
what
that's
you
what I
look
was
for when
gonna
you're
talk
teaming with
about now.
someone.
I think you obviously, if you're teaming with someone, you need to. It's obviously gun skill. In you need to have a skill fit in with the players. Also players that can play. Like how can I say, like they compose. Like you need to find like experienced players if possible. Like it's just like a lot of factors that go into it. So it's like gun skill, it's like composure, it's like experience. If they get along well, like with the other players that you want to team with, like bringing
Yeah.
someone into a team, obviously they need to like get along with the other players in the team. You can't just pick someone up.
Yeah.
Like you don't know like how the personalities will be or whatever. Like there's a lot of factors that go into it, and it's also like Hayden said, one of the most important things is the roles. Like you don't want 5 of the best ALs on one team because then that's what they're best at. That's what they're comfortable doing. Then you're gonna have to force them to do play other roles or play faster, and that's not how they play. You need to like find people that fit in the right role and they feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
It's like basically if you want say you're building a team, like you need to just try find like the best player for that role, like the best sub player that will fit that role. Players that are like similar paced, if you know what I mean, besides like maybe a main or like there's a lot of factors that go into it. It's not just about how good the player is and what they do.
Yeah.
And obviously you need players that have good communication. Obviously you need to have at least one player in the team that's good at IGL, like a good IGL that can actually like guide the team, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's basically like a lot of factors that go into it. It's not just about finding someone that has good gun skill, that's
like
not it.
you're not looking like if all the like say you're looking for a sub, but then all the best subs are like already in the team. You're not gonna need to pick up the best sub, or if you have a spot and you need to pick up a sub, you're not gonna pick up the best AR just because he's the pick up what he needs, even if he's not the best. As
I
now,
think
what's the future?
feeling skill obviously good, but like there's obviously like captain like team and like his input into the team is why he can be on a team and they're also like really good and people don't think he's a good
Yeah.
is more beneficial to because then the other players in the team can also play better because of him, if that makes sense. Like there's a lot of factors that go into it.
Yeah, no, there is definitely. Okay, Jen. That was it for the World War II and really what you're looking for when picking up players and roster changes and whatnot. Oh, actually, one more thing. Is there any rosters that you've seen being announced that stood out for you?
The Astra roster.
I didn't expect the Astro roster to come back.
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I feel like the roster that has the most potential is the Royal roster with
Yeah,
Legits and
yeah.
Batil and them. It's the Black Ops 4 is a game that suits a lot of them. Like it can be based around like running guys, but obviously 5v5 could change it. But I feel like all those players have a lot of potential, and they do have the skill to be the best, or at least like in the top 5. So I'm gonna keep
They
my eye out for one of them.
passionate about grinding, so
Yeah.
obviously they're gonna get better as a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Evo, a new organization, getting into the scene. I was quite surprised with the team that's formed there. It's for people that don't know, it's Saints, Waffle, Keres, Vexo Flexo, and Koala. So 5 players that you wouldn't think would play together, but I don't know. You've scrimmed them, I think, Rob. How did that go?
No, we didn't because into HB.
No, we only
and
played
said we were having fun.
play battles against them.
The rules that came out and we played like one map and then the next map,
I feel like
you
you
said.
should ask Ian this because they at least had more because we played like 2 maps and they weren't taking it seriously. So Ian, I know Ian scrimmed them a little bit more, so you can maybe ask.
Yeah, Kaiden, and you, Adam, what do you think?
What do you want to know? I don't know. Like, I don't think they're gonna be a bad team at all. I think that like, obviously, but if he grinds the game, I think they're a good team. Obviously, Kyrgios, Waffle, Saints, and Koala. That Koala will do quite well. I think he'll be like really good at this game, and also same with Scar. Scar and Koala, when they were teaming with each other, they've been teaming with each other since IW, I think, and in Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2. Like, I get that like they're brothers and stuff, but also, I think teaming with your brother, if you're at like a certain age, it can be like a toxic environment. Like imagine having to team with your brother. Okay, you're like playing competitive, and everyone knows what competitors like. Like you have your team argument. After that, then you go and you walk to the kitchen, and there's your brother, your teammate standing there. Like I feel like that's like, not as good. Like I feel like is if they're away from each other.
Like
So I don't know.
was
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, exactly. And I don't know. I think that will not like there won't be a pushover team, but if they sort their shit out and obviously like sort their heads out, they could definitely turn some heads and do well. But yeah,
I agree 100% with you. I just want to apologize to the viewers. It's the mics are cutting out quite a bit. Gonna see what I can do with the decoder on this side. But now looking to
His
Black Ops.
TV.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. But now looking to Black Ops 4. Your initial thoughts, gents. Do you think? What do you think about Black Ops 4? Not the rule set. We'll leave that to just now. But overall feel. What do you think about Black Ops 4?
I like it. Like
love
especially
it.
for competitive, like I really like it.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I love it.
yeah, like I feel like the game, the feeling, and like how everything works on the map. Like I feel like it's literally like it feels so
Like,
good. Like I
think obviously
calm
there's,
down. Okay,
obviously
carry
there's
on.
like a lot of doing updates, but I think once we get to like Feb March and they've like fixed like most of the stuff that's like broken with it, or like all the stuff that's
The
like
bugs.
I don't know, it's like not adjusted properly.
Yeah, like
Once they like sort all that out, the game's gonna be like really, really.
Like,
But
one
obviously
thing-
not already. It's like one of the
Yeah.
best. I'm just saying, like as time goes on, I think it's just gonna get better.
Like, one thing every time like I get a COD, I like look at the aesthetic, not necessarily like how it looks like in game, because Track have always had like colorful games, which is nice. But I don't know, like I really like looking at like how do the guns look. Like I mean, I can enjoy playing with guns, like how they look. I don't really like futuristic guns and like stuff, but this is like modern. Like I like that, and then also look at like how like gun gameplay is, and like hit markers and hit
Oh
rate and
yeah,
stuff. Like
definitely.
the last time I actually like enjoyed a game that had that was Ghost. I feel like Ghost was like so smooth, like the hit markers, the hit ridge, and it's like so nice. And I actually really enjoyed that about this game. I didn't really enjoy it about the previous three
Bro,
cards. So that's something I really like.
Does this game not like remind anyone of Ghost though?
It does like
No.
It does,
Running
yeah.
with
game,
the Mad Dogs, does it not remind you of the MTAR?
no, the MX9 reminds me of the Vector,
Vector,
like and
yeah,
then like
yeah.
the hit reg and everything, like it literally reminds me of like a nice smooth game. Like they have little things to fix, but I feel like it could be a really good game.
Yeah,
No,
obviously there's
amazing.
bugs and stuff, but I think like the biggest downfall is freaking specialists, dude. Like the game is so nice, but I don't know why they didn't take over. Like yes, they took the same specialists over, but the way that they've done them with like having your equipment and so on, like I don't agree with that.
They should have
Like, that
kept
just
it
makes
to two
it like so
specialists, not you have
unnecessary.
both of them.
Hey?
They should have done it like two specialists, not you have
Yeah.
both of them.
So you had
two
like you
weapon
choose a
purifiers
visual
should be two
one.
separate things.
Yeah, and something like freaking like razor wire and a
Yeah.
portable guardian, dude. Like I don't know why
Yeah.
that's in
The
Call of
thing I
Duty.
don't understand is I don't understand why they think like yeah it's in the game for pubs, yeah sure, but I don't understand why they haven't like immediately removed it. Like we're not trying to like yes we're trying to not part ways with COD, but change it up.
But now
You don't
today we
change it up by
heard.
completely changing like the game.
Yeah, I agree. But then like today we heard with the whole his name is what's his name Talk with the freaking razor wire cock that he's now been taken out
Yeah.
of S&D. You can still use him in respawn, but not in S&D. Like CDWL's done that. Like I don't know how that works. Like how does that make sense?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like they should know we're not gonna play with it.
Yeah.
Like
It's like
it's stupid.
and that's another thing that will come to just now is GAs that the pros would be doing. And I can so much stick to that topic now. GAs meaning gentleman's agreement on banning certain things. Do you guys think we should stick to whatever the GAs or the pros GA?
Well, I feel like we're already doing because we have like a base, like the same basis. No one's gonna run talk. No
Mm.
one's okay. You really can't run crash, and then I feel like no one's just gonna play with like armor. Like I don't see a purpose in that.
Like Crash is fine.
Which is crash.
The
health.
guy that gives you 50 health.
Oh
And,
no, I
um,
meant
Axe.
the one with the dog. I forgot what it's called.
Nomad.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
no,
already
sorry.
banned though.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
already
that's
banned.
what I'm saying. So like I
But
said, that's
then-
really banned, and then we're obviously gonna ban talked, and then I didn't feel like armor should be a thing.
Oh,
But
yeah,
it's a
for sure
topic
not.
that everyone like comments on every year about the gentleman's agreement and how the pros does it. Like, man, everyone says the same thing every year. Like, whatever the pros do, we should be doing. Like, we're
yeah.
trying to keep up with like how they present themselves and how they play the game. We should be doing that. And then people will still argue like, oh, we're not in the pro scene. We should do it our own way. But we're trying to grow our own scene, like here to be like to compete with them. Like,
Yeah.
there's no like whatever the pros are doing, we should be doing.
Agree 100%. But we're gonna talk about more of this rule set for the CWL, or it's version 1. So for those people already complaining, we do know that there will be changes and whatever. So this is not 100% set. But the first thing, or the main thing that was first announced was the new game mode called Control. And for those that don't know what the game mode is, it's basically you have 30 lives. It's like playing Search and Destroy on a domination game mode. So you have to capture two areas, A and a B, and you got 30 lives to do so. Whatever comes first, either the clock, or you capturing the 2 flags, or you dying with that 30 deaths that you can get, or kill the other 30 enemies. To you guys that have played Control already, do you think it's a good fit for Black Ops 4?
I feel like it's the best fit with the options we were given.
Yeah.
I
Oh, there it goes away. The sound for some reason. Gents.
Yeah.
We've scrimmed it I think once or twice, but I can guarantee you now it might not seem cool, but once we get sorted with scrims, everything, and we see the pro scene, everything, like it's gonna be the most strategic game mode, because
I-
once you start losing those lives and you haven't captured, you need to play smart. Once you have more lives than the other team, you have to still play smart. It's probably one of the most strategic games we'll see in like COD.
Yeah, guys, I've no idea why this voices is just cutting out.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't played Control, so like especially in
I-
comps, I've played it in pubs, but I haven't played it in comps. I don't know.
I think it's a good mode. I think for 5v5 too though, it's one of the better modes to fit like the 5v5 play style. Also you can't just like run and run and run, because if you obviously you waste lives, and that's going to be detrimental to your team. So you also need to communicate well and
Yeah,
play smart. Like you can't just sprint and sprint and sprint. Like it's not going to work.
like a respawn SND.
So I think it's like it's nice. It's like I think it suits this game in like 5v5. If they went like, since it's 5v5, I definitely feel like this mode should be in. Another thing with the update that came out now is like for spawns for HP, like they've already started tweaking some like slums, like the bad ones that were like hectic. Like you'd have 2 people at the back, but the enemies would still spawn there. And they also adjusted like cover and objects on certain maps for spawn. So I definitely feel like as the game goes on, they're just going to improve everything. I still feel like HP they're going to sort out too, and HP will also get to the stage that 5v5 feels fine. It won't feel too chaotic, and the spawn logic will obviously make more sense, because right now it is a bit chaotic, but they're tweaking it. So
When we scrimmed like a week ago, or whenever we did, like I actually like when we played HP, it felt like nice. Like it didn't feel so chaotic like I thought it'd be. Like a little bit tweaking with spawns and everything, and it literally feels like really good. Like I actually enjoy playing HP on this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that 2 seconds spawn delay that they did put in, it was chaotic in the beginning, but that 2 seconds really is helping out.
I think what makes it like chaotic now, even though there is a spawn delay, is the fact that the spawns, you don't spawn people out; they spawn next to you, like close to you. I think that's what makes it chaotic. So the more tuning they do to the spawns, the better it'll feel. Because if people spawn more far out, then obviously it'll slow the game down a lot as well.
Yeah, and Caden did touch a bit
Because-
on. Yeah, you can go.
Because now, like, you have to anchor, but like, if the spawn stay as they are now, even if you have 2 anchors, they still spawn close to you, and eventually they'll kill you in the back or whatever. Like, this game's weird. Like, you can literally like be at the back of the map, kill someone in front of you, still as far back as you can be, but because you're not looking to the left, the game will spawn them there because your screen's not looking there, type of thing. Like, it's The
Yeah.
camera
yeah,
angle,
yeah,
like, it's
yeah.
just weird. You get what I mean? Like, say you kill someone and you look there, they won't spawn there. But because
Yeah.
you'll kill them and you look in front of you or to the right, they'll spawn behind you on the left where you can't see, where you're not looking.
Yeah.
Which obviously they're fixing, but like you can't play like comp like that. That's just very, it's dumb. So that's obviously why they're fixing it. Yeah.
Indeed. And Caden did touch a bit on the specialists. Uh, I, I'm just shocked that they let in so many weird things like those flippin' what
That
do you
talk,
Guardian
like, that
and
has wire and
like
yeah, I agree.
like I think it was Aches that tweeted out like, why don't they get
Yeah, it was X.
the legendary pros or so to do these things? And like I'm quite surprised that this made it even into the first rule set.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's gunless, dude. This guy plays with C4 and pubs. He wants that shit in comp.
It's gunless. Okay. No, but I really don't know. No idea what went through them. Maybe they just want to use everything that pubs people can feel more like involved.
Included.
I don't know, but hopefully they can get that done. Another big thing that was new to this is the attachments of each gun. Every gun has its own set of attachments. Talking about double grip, and that every gun has its own individual attachments. Do you think this is a smart way of going about things, or just makes it more more variety? You would say.
I think it's cool because like it adds, or like I think it adds an aspect into the game where like certain guns are better in certain situations, if you know what I mean. So like obviously every gun has its own advantage wherever it's positioned on the map, or whether or how you play with it, how fast you play with it, which I think is better because then it also adds more variety in the game. Because if you want to do something, do a rush or play like a certain position, obviously a certain gun will be best. That means people obviously use more guns in the game to, you know,
Yeah.
like there's more variety of guns to use. You're not just gonna have one person using one gun because that's the best gun at like like no matter how
Yeah.
you play with it, it's the best in every situation.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, and we know
And
that
also,
if people play AR, you know they're putting stock on there, and now certain ARs don't even have stock.
Yeah.
yeah, but that like
Yeah, but like
balances the game out a bit.
yeah, I agree because like for the ICR, yeah, it doesn't have stock. And obviously they're nerfing it now. I know it's been like OP since the game came out, but like now, like you can't just run around the map with an ICR like a sub or a Maddox, or like kill or strafe close range by someone and kill them easily. Like I'm not saying you can't do it, but it's going to be a lot more difficult to kill people that if you play like that and they have like a gun that's suited for that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Whereas like you'll play like
Yeah.
Infinite Warfare, and then it's just like a cable and ERAD, and the cable is literally insane at like close range or whatever. Anyway, it'll just gun a ERAD. Like I think no, it's good because like it's just going to be more variety of guns to use, and guns will be better in certain situations, and it'll be more entertaining from a viewer's perspective to watch the game with more variety as well.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one.
There's two things that I like that I highlight is one good and one bad. The one good thing that I really like is the fact that the game isn't based so much around perks. Like I run one perk on my class and
Yeah.
I'm like perfectly fine for HP. Like that's what I really like. Like other games you have to have like 3-4 just to like be able to play HP, which I really didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand is the fact that I don't understand why the second game in a row, something that should be dead silent still makes you be able to be heard around the map.
Yeah. No, for
Like,
indeed. And then I actually want to ask Lee this is with this AR and SMG meta going around. I do know that Scaro is an exceptional SMG player. Do you think it's viable for someone to be playing with an SMG? Because we know that the ARs are stupidly OP over the SMGs.
The thing is now that they've done the update, I've been watching streams and I've seen like the pros at least have one or two on the map on certain maps, depending on the map. But like I'm sure they're just going to continue tweaking it. They're going to see how this update plays out, and obviously, like they said in the update, they want like if you're playing with the sub and you have that fast play style and you like get into a gunfight with like an AR, like the sub should win that gunfight most of the time. So they're going to balance out the game over time. They just had an update now, so we also like recently like local teams haven't really scrimmed, so it's hard for us to say anything. But by watching like the pros and stuff, they've already like started using like swords and stuff.
and the
At least
cord
one or
I
two in
saw
a team.
everybody using the cord art because apparently it got
Yeah,
buffed.
exactly. So obviously they're gonna
it's gonna be viable sooner or later to use subs. Like you're gonna have to have subs on the team. You're not gonna just have ARs on the team.
Thanks,
The
Lee.
only thing is, I already consider the Maddox a sub. Like I don't see that being an AR.
Yeah, the Maddox,
Like-
the Maddox is really
Def-
OP. Like
yeah.
they're gonna have to nerf the hell out of that thing.
I
Cause
agree. I
up
agree.
close,
But the
that's
thing is,
insane.
they've already started like doing stuff though. Like they've already, like if you use ELO, which is like the best side for that gun, the recoil's higher now, and also like if you like running and you have to ADS into someone, it's slower. And if you like strafing with that gun, like you preempt and you strafing, it's also slower. So like they're trying to do what they can now and just like, like they're trying to nerf like ARs a bit, and then
Yeah.
just so you can balance it out with subs. But like it's just gonna take time. Like I rate by like the new year, then like January, February, like it'll be fine. Like you'll see like the meta then, and it'll probably develop from then. But there's definitely gonna be, they're definitely gonna tweak it so that subs are viable, and like you at least need subs on certain maps and certain places because you literally can have a Maddox and a on it. Two Sorgs can run in, and you can still gun both of them. Like it doesn't mean
Yeah.
anything, but obviously they're gonna fix that.
Yeah.
Just change the fire rates to slower of the Maddox, and I feel like it'll be fine.
Shit,
'Cause
almost.
it is kind of hard to control at long range.
Yeah. No, indeed.
Dude, I don't want them to change the fire rate. Like, I feel like when they change the fire rate of a gun, it just makes it so uncomfortable. Because obviously we're used to the fast fire rate, then it's just like, I don't know, like, buff the subs. Fuck, don't really
Yeah,
use any fun.
Yeah, I just say leave the AOs, just buff the subs. As easy as that.
Yeah.
But okay, Lee, Dylan.
Yeah.
This question is for Lee. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Lee, the score streaks, Dart and RC, the RC. I'm just gonna those two.
Yeah,
I
I'm
know
glad
it's-
I got an in-depth question.
It's the easiest thing to get. You can be as shit as me and get it. Do you think these two score streaks must be used or must be upped with like getting 2 more kills maybe to get them? I don't know. What do you think?
Yes.
No, they're
Ah, they really like. Okay, I mean, you get 5 kills, you can take out like 2 players inside of a hard point. That's not fair.
Run flak jackets.
Yeah, you can
like,
run flak jacket,
Yeah,
but
you
run
run flak
through
jacket with
8 card into
dogs.
it, and then
Uh,
what? And then you
like,
still kill more
I
people.
don't agree with people saying that they shouldn't be in the game.
They should be in the game for S&D, not respawn.
no.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, the thing is, well, if in respawn, if they upped, because I agree they should be upped in how much points it takes to get them. But then if it's like that, then people would rather just use lightning strike because it's going to be like a little bit more. But
Yeah,
in,
but
in
that's
like
fine.
S&D, like since it's 5v5, like especially using an RC in S&D, it's literally now it's a strat to like if you have double RC, you use it in your advantage. You strat, you clear out lanes, and your teammates push. Like I feel like it's so strategic having an RC or a dart in S&D. I don't feel like it should be taken out. Yes, I do agree that it should be more points to get it, but saying that it should be taken out, I don't agree with.
Okay,
it's not
but
just
fine.
about getting the HC to get a kill. Like there's more to it than that. Like you use it for info, you use it to like
And-
hold
And
somewhere.
they're so
like-
easy to destroy. Like literally so
Exactly,
easy.
yeah.
Bro, I shot an HT and I swear it gave me a hit mark. I did it like twice.
The
That's stupid.
damage radius is so far. Like I shot an HC on
Yeah.
blue while I was on stairs and it killed me.
And like even a dart, like like it's so easy to shoot a dart down, and it's like so obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, like previous cards, you couldn't really shoot the dart. This game, at least you can destroy it.
I don't know.
I just think
they should
people
have
need
left
to just
everything in
run
the game.
flak, or like, yeah, I don't know.
Left everything in the game and ban and protect.
Ew, no.
No, I would
ew.
love.
Yeah.
I would love
Ew.
a ban and protect system.
I don't mind
Ew.
specialists either,
No.
bro. Like,
Because then we're going to be playing different games every time we play someone.
See, I
as
also
long
agree
as,
with
as long as specialists
specialists.
can be counted, dude, then I don't even care.
I like specialists in the game, but only the right ones. Like you
Yeah.
can see your annihilator, you can get your purifier, you can get your shit, but not the fucking barricade. Like even vision pulse shouldn't be a thing. Like, what the
Ooh,
hell?
Vision Pulse is good. Like I don't mind that. That's good.
Nah, imagine
like,
that in
the thing is-
S&D.
Exactly.
Like,
in S&D,
like
you
we
can
discussed
dive in.
earlier, like temper should be allowed, but then what the hell is that little drone? Like that shit's so OP.
Oh jeez, that's shocking.
Bro, you're
Okay, that is
big.
not
You're
open.
big, Rob.
Rob, if the HC is
Nah, literally, Rob
Yeah,
literally
that's
says to me,
bro.
don't use gay shit, I'm playing scrims, dude. Literally, I see this little drone running around the map.
but
And I
it's
mentioned
a-
ultimate, he's like, no,
No,
not the ultimate gay shit. I was like,
Yes,
okay.
we just take out like the shield and shit. Because like
Bruh.
a Tempest is decent. It's always been COD.
Yeah,
Like,
the
there's
Tempest, but
side
that drone. What's
abilities,
the point of
like
running around a drone?
like
Are
also
you talking about the
that's
Seeker drone?
Yeah.
yes.
and then like the
That
grenade
thing's
pump
not that
battery.
OP, bro. Like, it literally shocks you. You can get rid of it in like a second. Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not that OP. There's worse shit than that.
But like I don't feel like
So
I feel like there should be like
stupid.
an ability to ban the side things for specialists and just have the main things on.
Yeah.
Listen, I feel like I don't even care if all of the specialists are in, as long as every single specialist has its counter.
Yeah.
You can play it like League of Legends or something.
Yeah. Well, then it would be fine. At least someone you have a tactic to counter
Yeah.
it. But
Then you're not just using
Yeah.
your specialist to get 4-piece or 5-piece now. You're
yeah,
actually using it for something.
indeed.
Everyone
Uh,
can shoot something, like adding more strategy to the game with the specialist, that could be really useful.
Yeah. Now, when we look at maps, do you? I know they added now I think you pronounce it Hacienda, or I don't know how you say
Hacienda.
that. But
Hacienda.
do you think the maps is because like I think it's the first COD I've seen that they've used up to almost 6-7 maps per mode, and that's crazy to think. Do you
Nice.
think some of
They're
them
adding
fit, some
another
of them don't
20
fit?
maps per mode, eh?
Yeah, it's dumb.
No, I
I'm
like
joking,
that
man.
because Vitos are gonna be so nice. And
Yeah.
then it's gonna be like CS because
Yeah,
CS
literally.
you don't play every map on CS and get good at every map on CS. You have your map, you get good at those, and then you play them. And then a team might ban your map, then you need to have like a middle map that like you're decent at. Not just like 4 maps that you know you're gonna play. Like there's not gonna
But
always be a London docks.
but don't you think they're gonna? Obviously, there's a lot of maps now they're out a lot, but don't you think they'll like take some out?
Yeah, they'll
Obviously,
take
still
some
leave a
out.
few. I'm
But
sure
they'll-
they'll
I-
still take some out. Yeah.
I'm sure there'll still be like lots. Like
No, but I think it's good
extra
if they
I
have
hope
like
at
a lot.
least. I hope at least 5 stay, like
Yeah.
5, 6 at least. Yeah.
Yeah, and the sizing of the map. Do you think like playing control on, let's say, slum or well, it's not played on slums, but hardpoint on slums?
I. That's. I think the way the map plays out and how it feels all depends on how spawns are. To be honest, because if spawns are like retarded,
Yeah.
then obviously the game's gonna feel chaotic. So when they fix spawns, and the game will feel better. It'll feel more predictable. You could set up better. You know, like it feels more like that. Like, but the way spawns are now, you can't really predict them too much because they can just be so random. I mean, you can have 3 people in spawn. They'll still spawn like next to you, in front of you, or some shit. Like, it's stupid.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
no, indeed.
But control, the maps I've played for control, they feel good. Like it feels, the game feels like it's controlled. It's not too fast, not too slow. Like it's a good pace. So
like payload and contraband control feel really nice.
yeah, like it's nice. Like it's not
Yep.
bad at all.
I would love to see a competitive game played on jungle because I know that's a map as well. So,
Yeah,
jeez, I don't
But
know
see,
how
that's-
that's gonna
that's-
work
that's
out.
where the spawn beacon comes into play when you're allowed to use it.
The thing is, Dalré,
Yeah.
like yeah, that map might be a bit big and stuff, but the way the controls, or where the control blocks or whatever in that map are, like it's you can also like control the map well in the lanes well, because one's like far right and that one's far left. It's not like they're in the middle, like in weird places. They're like good places to play out the map. So I definitely feel like it will be a good map for control as well.
Yeah, no, indeed. We'll see how that plans out for this first rule set, version 1. And then I'm going to move along to just general questions. Nothing to do with really to Black Ops 4 and the rule set and whatever. And the first one will be cash tournaments that smaller teams don't enter if the bigger teams are in it. What can be done to maybe get the smaller teams to enter it if the big teams are there?
I can
The
get some
thing-
balls and compete against the big guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
like-
not,
getting
not our
better.
problem, literally.
Yeah, you don't want to compete. You're just not going to win money and get better.
And then they
What do you
said,
want
and they
to do?
complain like,
Yeah.
okay, well, can you guys like help us get better? And like, you guys have egos and you're so toxic towards us. Like, the way to get better is by paying people that are better than you. Enter the tournaments, you're helping growing the community, and you getting better yourself.
Because remember, we also have to get better.
Mm.
So the perfect opportunity is tournaments where we have to play you, and then you get practice. Record our
The
VODs.
thing
That's
is,
what we have to do.
yeah, exactly. The thing is, like, no one's just gonna come out of nowhere and then just like be the best, and you're not just gonna play like random teams and then come out of nowhere and beat like one of the top teams. Like that's never gonna happen. Like you have to work your way up. So even if we did have tournaments that had like, I don't know, the top 4 teams or orgs or whatever, then the rest are just other teams. Like they're still not going to make like those teams better in like the end. Like you need to play the best to get to that level, and you can't just play like once and get knocked and then be like, I'm not playing again. Like that, it's not how it works. Like you're just gonna have to keep playing, get better, and grind. Like there's nothing more to it.
Yeah,
Like when people want advice, the best advice is literally to grind the game, find players to grind with, make a team, play teams, play tournaments, be involved, go to events. Like you just need to do all of that. You're not just gonna come
doesn't
play when you
happen
want and
overnight.
be the best. Like it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight,
And you're crazy to think it will.
yeah, and
That's what you think.
and some people would say, why don't you just split like the top 10 teams in one bracket type of thing for a cash tournament and the other teams there? But
I
we just
think-
don't have the numbers for that.
It's not even that. Like I don't think people realize that almost all the players, literally like all the players from all the top teams were once those players at the bottom that didn't have a good team or like a new team. Like all of us have been there. We didn't have to play against our own teams at that level to beat like the best teams. We literally just grinded, got better and played and got to this level that we are at now. That's literally it.
And there's like some people might say like back then was a bit easier because like it was a little bit easier for me to get in, and that, but then that just means that you have to put your head down and work 2 times harder. Like everyone
exactly.
else is doing it, so you must do it. Like I don't know.
I mean, there's players now like even Real. Like Real literally came in IW halfway through the season, and he's like in our team. Like you can do
Welcome.
it. Like it's just
You're
grind.
welcome.
I
No, I'm
remember,
joking. I'm joking.
I remember being RW. And
Bro, I
then-
need to go peel. And I'm like,
I remember being RW, and then Bravado goes, "Yo, Rahil's our new 4th." And I'm like, "Why? Are you stupid?" And then he proved me wrong. Like the man is crazy.
Yeah.
It's opportunity. It does sometimes base around connection, but I don't feel like at this point it's gonna be the top teams. But
And
put your head
it's
down and
literally
grind.
yeah, and it's actually the mindset and attitude you have. Like if you have the mindset that you like you can't get to that level, like like the mindset like you're saying, no, it's actually a mindset that why should we play against like the top teams in these tournaments? Why can't we like play against like whatever these other teams or like literally like you're saying, it's just mindset
Yeah.
and attitude. If you want to be the best or you want to get to that level, you'll do what it takes to get there. Like you're not going to get to that level trying to avoid like the better players or the better teams. Like it's not going to happen.
Yeah. No, indeed.
It's like us going overseas and like expecting to
I was about to
win
say
a
that.
CWL event without playing any of the fucking
Yeah.
pro
Yeah.
teams. Like it's not going to happen.
Like look at our CS team. They only now
Yeah.
qualified for
Yeah.
major, but they've been putting their head down. They've been grinding so much, and it pays off. It took them 8 months to just qualify for the first major, but they've done it, and that's the starting point of their whole career.
Yeah. That people just need to realize that it's not just
Like-
gonna happen with the
like-
click of your
Yeah.
and it's not gonna
Like there's
happen.
literally players that I remember in Black Ops 3, like at the beginning of the year, that were like they didn't know anything about comp. They were like very average. They literally just played like pubs, and now they're in top teams,
yeah,
in
like
top orgs.
I would probably
literally.
say
I've seen
carries.
Caden come
Carries,
outnumbered.
Black Ops 3.
No, not Keres, but like
Dude, I
freaking
was
even
with nobody in the beginning of that.
Caden, like Caden literally.
What's
Even
it?
Java
Caveman
wasn't even
Joe
playing comp.
teaming with my
When we were
brother.
playing like AGC, Java wasn't even like playing comp properly, right? And then like you literally beat like you came second at DGC later that year just from grinding and playing with other players like with that same mindset and attitude as you. Like that's where it got you.
Yeah.
Think about
Like-
it. Literally, Caveman Joe and Tipman, whatever his name was then, was teaming with my brother, who just got into comp as well in like end of Black Ops 3, and they were just making a fun team. And like Caden's in Energy, Tipman's in Vinco, and all of us the greatest sim driver in. No, I'm joking.
Oh, Nebula
no, he's
and-
joking. He's Nebula
He is, but
Java,
I'm
dude.
just saying it has no relation to COD, but I mean, the
Yeah.
other two.
Yeah, yeah.
And like Oliver is still like a decent player just because of how much he played. Like he played so much Black Ops 3 when he was like in the start. He didn't even like every time I put on a COD video, he'd be like switch that shit off. But then he literally just played so much Black Ops 3. He enjoyed it. He didn't play
Yeah.
it because he wanted to win. And like he proved himself. Like he's a very decent player. And like playing with him now in Black Ops 4, I'd say he's one of like not the top
Yeah.
players, but he could be in one of the top teams easily.
Yeah. Talking about your brother,
Literally,
I wanna give him props actually as well. That video he made about you, I think that was
Yeah.
some insane editing there by Mr. Levkov. So well done to him.
I appreciate it a lot. Holy shit! Like I enjoyed that.
Yeah, no.
but literally like Dalré, like what you put in is what you get out, and I don't think like a lot of the people understand that. Like they just want to come play, and then just like they expect to like get into like the best team or be at the top, and if they're not, then it's like a problem. If you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
I don't
No.
think people realize it's like a grind and it takes time. It's not something that's just gonna happen in like a month.
Yeah, no, indeed. We'll move along then as well. Lee, this question to you as well. Um, Streaming and content and whatever, because I see you got your overlay done and you are streaming quite regularly. Um, do you think that there's more of us needed to put out content? But if I'm looking about of streamers, I'm seeing you streaming. I know about Rob streaming. I know Dylan streams scrims. I know Caden streams scrims. Now the top teams, there's the four top teams. What getting content out? Um, is the lower tier teams just not what? Don't they want to do it? Aren't they capable
Are
of
you
doing
talking
it?
about like watching streams or streaming themselves?
No, streaming themselves.
I feel like if you don't want to stream yourself, like that's obviously it's your own option, but it's so
Yeah,
fun. Like
support.
people don't really understand that it's actually a fun thing that we do. We're not just doing this for like
Yeah.
to take it seriously and stuff. Like we actually enjoy busy putting out content for other people, busy working on our own creative sides of like all aspects, Call of Duty, just life in general.
I mean,
And the thing is also streaming it like helps the community first of all, and it helps yourself. Like you learn a lot of skills, you learn editing. Like if you're talking about uploading to YouTube and stuff, you're building your own brand. You're getting better while you're doing it because you're grinding.
there's
Yeah.
actually no negatives
why
to
you wouldn't-
streaming.
Exactly.
Yeah, there isn't. And well, if you've got the line to do it, PlayStation has the option, literally two buttons and you're live. So
Yeah.
like nothing's stopping you. You just play your normal game, get some content out there. Maybe there's someone that watching that likes your gameplay and he sticks around and watches it. Gets his
Yeah.
mates in there to come watch with, and there you got your own little community. So
Like-
you just need to like grind, is what I'm saying. Get
Yeah.
yourself
And
out
like,
there.
If you don't stream, then watch.
Yeah.
Like support the streams because like there's so many things like obviously pros get better. They don't ask each other what they do. They watch their streams. They watch their VODs. Like I know one thing. As soon as I'm done finals, I'm gonna start like because I have so many gameplays. You know, like Chrome and them. They upload one of their scrims where they do well or
Yeah.
a match in that SD. I'm gonna start doing that because I enjoy it. I want to upload to my YouTube. It helps me grow and it helps the community to see how we play and everything. But like it's like I enjoy that because I want to show people what's like we did, but then I also want them to be able to learn from it as well.
Yeah. No, indeed. And then on to the community questions. That's the last segment of this CODcastZA. And that first one will be the one here from Batilla saying, very, very good question from him as well. The difference between pros and noobs and what the lower tier teams could do to get better. Then he says this, and where could you put the teams that have basically been announced? So you got your tier A, tier B, and tier C. We'll first take the first part of this question is the difference between pros and noobs and what the lower tier teams could do to get better.
I think we kind of. yeah.
What's it? I can touch on this quickly, but then I'm also sorry, but I have to leave at 8.
Yeah. No problem.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No problem.
But
You can touch on that.
what's the question? Like, what can the lower teams do to get better,
Yeah,
or what
yeah.
are the
No,
look,
exactly that.
literally what we said? Like, don't be scared
Yeah.
to play against better teams. Like, enter the tournament, support ACGL and the 2Ks. Like, play every single 2K. You're not like losing anything. All you're losing is a map. What is that going to do to you? Nothing. You literally played a map. You played against a better team. If you lose, and you learn something, like that's how you're gonna get better. Enter the cash tournaments. Yes, obviously, like but don't enter the tournaments like a negative mindset. Like, okay, I'm entering this mindset. I'm entering this tournament. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get worked. I'm gonna get absolutely destroyed. Like, try hard. You get better by trying hard, regardless of not. If you lose, you're supporting the community. You're doing well. Like, you're doing good for your future. Like in the CODcastZA community. Like that's how you're gonna get better.
Yeah.
Like also another thing is like it's promoting the top players, but like follow them on social media, like Twitter especially, because I know a few times I've done it where like we have no scrims, like no team wants to scrim us, and then I just tweet out any scrims or even like Dylan and I've been playing so many 2v2s with just random people from the community, and that does help. It helps with your S&D skills and your gun skills.
Yeah.
I'd also say follow the if you could call it better players in the community, and I can guarantee you, and especially now knowing and everyone asking, sometimes we will go, yes, anyone want to scrim? If we don't want to scrim the top teams or there's no one to scrim, and then if you answer, then we will say, okay, we'll play you in like a best of 5 scrim,
Yeah.
just to like develop some maps.
Yeah, and if
Then
there's
that
tens,
only
get in
comes
there.
from yeah, it only comes from if you supporting us and like also pushing our social media out there and also following our social media.
Yeah, and then the last part of this question, Kaden, just before you go as well, where would you
I
put?
might be able to stay for a bit longer. I probably can stay to the end.
Okay, cool beans. And then where would you put the teams that's basically been announced? Your tier A, tier B, and tier C teams. If you want me to read out
Let
some,
Java answer.
I don't know. I don't know if like I don't know if it's like what I don't know what's the point of like rating that. Like what's the
but
point of
if we had to, there won't be a tier C team.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
not
don't
the
think it goes
best.
that far. I think it goes your tier A. That would obviously be your Bravado, your Ian, your Vinco, and
I'd
Jeez.
say your top 5
I
teams and
think
the
you
rest
could
are
go to
tier
a tier C
B.
team, like your tier A teams being the top 3, and then your tier C teams being like
No, but if you're
those that
not
are
winning
good,
or
but
placing in the money, you're tier B. There's no other question. Like,
Yeah,
okay, but
I
then
agree.
tier C, I think there is still a difference though,
yeah, there's a difference, but it doesn't matter. Like,
because you can't put say now last year WRG didn't have like a great season at all. They had constant top 5 placing, and you can't put WRG in the same line as
I just think it's dumb to
I think
rate
I'm gonna
teams
roast the team, but
now.
like a team with okay, now I'm not gonna say any names, but like you know what I mean.
yeah, but then that's where you say top 5 teams, or if you're in the placings at least once, then you're a tier A team because you've done something. But if you haven't done anything, then you shouldn't. You should be a tier B team. There shouldn't be a tier C team. Like you trying to say tier C teams are like those like say pub clans that just started comp and don't know like a lot. That's what you're saying tier C teams are.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, they're the same as like other teams that like even if they compete at DGC and they place 8th, like
Okay, I feel you, I
that's
feel you, I feel you. But like, you know, when we're thinking about it, like they not ranking themselves. So I feel like if we are ranking them, I feel like they deserve at least to be called the tier B team. They're
Yeah.
putting in way more time
But
than
to be
anyone
fair,
else.
there should only be a tier A team because you're striving to be top 5 or the best.
obviously, yeah.
Like,
Okay,
you don't
yeah,
want to
you
be
obviously are striving to
yeah,
be the
yeah.
best.
You don't want to be you don't want to be called I'm a tier B team. Haha, guys, I'm a tier B team. You want to be
Mm.
the best. You're grounded to be the best. You shouldn't put something on you until you're ready to become the best.
Yeah, yeah. No, indeed. And a question there from Bertilla, obviously. And if it's up to me, I'm telling you that I classify everyone as a team that wants to get better and get into obviously winning money at lands, and that's obviously where you want to be, placing first, second, third, depending wherever you want to go and get that money. But the more you grind, the more you practice, obviously you'll reap the rewards. Then a question here from I think it was Zeno_ZA. Most surprising roster for Black Ops 4 season, and this one for me is definitely Evo.
Very surprising.
Yeah, just surprising for me, not
because the
not good or
Royal
bad,
guys
just
went from,
the 5
like,
that's together.
Shut up, Rob. Are you big? Shut up, shut up, shut up,
Mama-
shut up. Because nothing's been announced.
sorry. Sorry. Yeah.
No, nobody heard
Evo,
anything.
Yeah,
Evo,
no-
boys, Evo.
yeah, no one like. Sometimes Kaden, this is why I like it. People always say the top teams, they don't know too much, man. Nothing has been
Sorry, I
announced.
completely forgot. I didn't mean it like the I literally completely forgot.
Yeah, but for me, it's definitely the Evo team. I never thought those 5 players would play together.
You never thought Aries,
Young money.
Exactly what Lithium said there, but hey, money talks, money talks. Guys, Lee, anything want to add?
This is
know,
Lee
like,
fucking with the flames.
There's
Lee.
no way you just said that.
Shit, Lee. What the fuck?
Fucking money talks. What the fuck?
I feel like everything was really like expected. Literally every single roster change was expected.
Yeah, I feel like it's expected for us because we like were involved. I feel like other people like didn't really know.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen, but I think on Twitter something just got announced that we are proud to announce Jinx TV on DSTV will stream some Call of
Yeah.
Duty Black Ops 4
Yeah.
tournament
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
one in Joburg.
Yeah, it's one in
I'm gonna be on
Joburg.
VAC, boys.
So, well,
on
fuck,
the
I'm joking.
1st to the 2nd of December.
Yeah,
Is it
so-
LAN?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a land. So
But
basically,
it's a 5,000 rand prize pool.
yeah, whatever.
That's
That's
an-
that's another thing that who was in my chat that mentioned that.
Bruh.
I think it was some of the high five guys that said, "Listen, yeah, okay, that's 250 rand a person to enter. If you make up your sums, and it's only a 5,000 rand prize pool. Something's going wrong there. But if you're in Joburg and you want to go attend a LAN and get some practice in, by all means do so. The details for that is on Discord and on Twitter, so you can just check around
Basically,
there.
You're saying if you're in Cape Town, don't even look at it.
Yeah.
Bro,
if
that's
you're in Cape
what the hell?
Like, I
Jordan,
understand.
if you
I
want,
understand.
you could always take a bus or a taxi, hey, and come.
Like I understand event organizers need to like make money for their things, but you shouldn't be taking half or more than half when it could be when you should be doing it for the community, like ACGL do. You shouldn't
Yeah.
like we need smaller tournaments, but don't take if there's like 20 teams and the prize pool's like 15k, but you're making the prize pool 10. I mean, a lot more teams would enter if next time if you made it like 14k and just taken a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
You know,
Indeed.
I actually think, yeah, like if say there was funding from an org for like 20k,
Yeah.
instead of having one event, I think we should just split it up so we have more content and more events, like at least. Like I think
And
that's a
it gives
better
you more
idea.
land practice.
Yeah, but
Because, I
the
mean,
thing,
like you think about, yeah, like it's a good game. It's gonna obviously we're looking forward to a good season. Obviously, you guys want events. You don't just want to play 2 events the whole year. Like you play the whole year to play 2 events. Like obviously, you want to play more stuff.
It was
so
our first event last year, EGE.
No, it was
No,
AFRI,
AFRI.
proper event.
yeah, but now my thing is, Dylan. So now you said that 20k, right? And I split it in 2.
Yeah.
Would you think teams from Joburg will fly down to Cape Town for a 10k prize pool?
Oh no, but I'm talking about maybe if you wanted to host it online, because then it's not a
Oh,
lot of money. Like
yeah,
at least
yeah.
you have more like teams. You can stream it online. Like thing is, I know it sounds stupid, but like if you also have like events online, like your little
Mhm.
ones, I still think you'll get like a good amount of viewers because like if people at LAN, when we go to LAN, like majority of the teams that play like
Are
will go
there,
to LAN and they
yeah.
won't watch the stream, so that won't be viewers for like content as like you stream an event online. Like I'm sure you'll get a lot of viewers too because a lot of people will watch it because they're at home or
Yeah.
they're also playing in the tourney or whatever.
The
I'm
only
not talking about having like a lot now dollars and like we have 20k just do like 4 LANs or 4k. I'm
Yeah.
just talking about if we just want to have like a bit more events online, like on the side, like
Uh-uh.
apart from the bigger events, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
and please
Like
tournament
what CGA
organizers,
did.
tournament organizers, research your
casters,
dates
Just
before
we
you
need
host
casters for
LANs.
like and we should like I know
Oh, what
like
did Rob say? What did Rob say?
Research your dates before you host LANs.
Oh, okay, yeah, that too.
Ask the community when they can play, and then
Yeah.
work around it because so many times it's just I start
Bad
writing
timing.
exams there. School starts the next day, and then so many people can't attend.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Obviously that. I don't know. There's a lot of things we need to look at, and hopefully the dates fall into. Well, Rob, I don't think you'll worry too much about dates next year because you're done with school.
Yeah, like but obviously there's gonna like ACGL or EG you can't do it because it's at
Yeah.
EGE. Like
Yeah.
that I understand, but it's more like the smaller Joburg, Cape Town lands. Like
Those miners.
Yeah, like this one that just happened.
Don't you-
Like the one that was supposed to be hosted at the
Yeah.
Emperors.
Yes,
Like
yes.
obviously got cancelled everything, but I mean, like half the community or like a little bit less is in matric, and
Yeah.
like we're all writing finals now, and like no one's gonna attend that.
Yeah. No, I think
And like
the more miners. I think we should have more miners because I think
Yeah,
it brings the community in that area a bit closer to each other.
yeah, pay to enter. It's perfectly
I
fine.
think the amount of miners we have are fine. Like I don't wanna be going to 10 miners here.
Yeah, like 2, 3, but Cape Town and Joburg each.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. No, indeed.
don't you think like if there's minors in like Cape Town, for example, and like we know there isn't a lot of teams there. Now it's 5v5 events, which means there'll be less teams. Don't
Mm.
you think they should make it like 2v2 or 3v3 so there's more teams?
Yeah. No, definitely.
I
I don't think that will
should
work
do
out
but
anymore.
they should host one 5v5 and then the rest they spread like 2v2, 3v3 because there still needs to be one tournament where you're actually getting practice for land with your team or a team.
Yeah, but I still think like you should definitely like maybe split it because then you'll have more players forming teams. Because now it's 5v5. Like imagine there's a minor in Cape Town. How many teams you guys think you'll get?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably like what 7? No, not even
Like
6.
2v and 2v2 lands could be cool. Like that could be so hype. Like
Yeah, they
open
are.
place
Yeah,
could be,
and it's
that would
fun.
be
Like
so
it's
cool.
actually fun.
We in Cape Town had that trench town lands, and I think that was so. It was really nice to play at them. It was
Yeah.
something looking forward to. So hopefully we can get more of those. Hopefully Clint, not Nick and Clint is listening out, so they know Mr. Zombie and Mr. Giraffe actually would say. But guys, that is it for now. Appreciate all of you being on. Caden, I know it's past your bedtime. You should probably get
Good
going.
night, Caden.
But Dylan, Rob, Lee, really appreciate you coming on. I know it's exams and taking out of time out of your grinding and studying. Hopefully more studying than grinding now.
Yep.
But thanks again, and for everyone that tuned in. Adam Vitals, I see Ollie is in here. I see who else is in here? Inception is in here. It's crazy chats going in there. But thanks again for everyone. We'll probably have another podcast in 2 to 3 weeks time. Hopefully things have changed with the rule set. Hopefully no roster changes. Let's see if we can keep
I'm
that
getting
to a low.
fucking rid of Dylan. Can't stand him.
Yo.
Get rid of Dylan. Take over captaincy. Quick.
It's already happening, boy, no matter what.
Ew. Okay, Dilson. Take that. Okay, but gents, thanks again. And check you next time. Cheers.
Just
Young man.
Cheers.
Cheers.